Hi, I'm Andrew Holden, and I'm the Agriculture and Natural Resources Educator in Ashtabula County. Along with my counterpart in Lake County, Tom DeHaas, today we will be talking about how to utilize the Tree of Heaven to help us detect for spotted lanternfly. With more on this, I'm going to turn it over to Tom.
So you might be wondering why we're talking about Tree of Heaven and Spotted Lanternfly. Well, I thought about it and I said, well, let's think about what effect it's going to have. First of all, I love grapes, and Spotted Lanternfly does too. But the other thing is, I love a good glass of wine, and without grapes, we have no wine. Henceforth, we're going to talk about Tree of Heaven.
Excellent point, Tom. And the reason Tree of Heaven is so important is because it's the host plant of the spotted lanternfly, which, may I add, is a threat to our nurseries as well as our other fruit producers and our forestry industry here in Ohio. Here, if you don't know, is what a spotted lanternfly looks like. Now that may look cool, but this bug is bad news. This pest has been wreaking havoc on the eastern coast of America and has been making its way across Pennsylvania and is now knocking on our door in Beaver County and Allegheny County. Economists at Penn State placed current economic damages due to the spotted lanternfly at $50 million per year, with loss of about 500 jobs just in the southeastern part of the state. The spotted lanternfly could pose a serious threat to Ohio's fruit industry and nursery industries if left unchecked, which is why early detection is so important. Since we know the spotted lanternfly can complete its entire life cycle on the Tree of Heaven, this is often the first place it shows up. That means to scout for the lanternfly, we first need to identify the Tree of Heaven, which can be easily confused with staghorn sumac, which Tom will now show you.
Hi there, here we are in the field and we're looking at Tree of Heaven and sumac, sometimes easily confused. If we look up at the sumac, you can see the flower stalks from last year, and behind that is Tree of Heaven. But the most important thing on these is these trees usually grow by railroad tracks. So right behind us, we have a railroad track. And the Tree of Heaven, the main thing that tells you the difference is a heart-shaped bud. So I want you to see that heart shape on that bud. Sumac does not have that heart shape at all. It is surrounded with almost a smile, but not a heart shape. That heart-shaped bud is what really gives Tree of Heaven away. So Tree of Heaven can be a kind of a shrub. It can also be a tree, like the tree behind me. This is a Tree of Heaven. Take a look, it's huge. And if you look up at the top of the canopy, you can see those seed pods from last year, which is one of the things that makes it most invasive. And by the way, what makes it invasive is it reseeds itself. If you look back in these woods, all those branches that are sticking up out of that woods on the edge of that garage, they're all Tree of Heaven.
Once Tree of Heaven has been identified on your property or in your neighborhood, you can check it once a week for spotted lanternfly. Here's what an infestation of spotted lanternfly would look like on a Tree of Heaven. These pests are a type of plant hopper, and they feed by piercing and sucking phloem out of plants. So if you see a Tree of Heaven that has feeding damage like this one, that could be a good indicator that spotted lanternfly are in your area.
So here we are in the middle of a parking lot, and notice this Tree of Heaven. It is surrounded by concrete, and it's still growing just fine. Look at the canopy on that tree. It's got to be 35, 40 feet tall. Tree of Heaven can grow almost anywhere. That's why it's invasive. And it also is the host for spotted lanternfly. We need your help to stop it. And we're going to use Tree of Heaven to help us.
We here at OSU Extension are committed to helping scout for the spotted lanternfly and will continue to provide you with the most accurate and up-to-date information regarding this pest. Along with our Master Gardener volunteers, we will be identifying Tree of Heaven, tagging it, and scouting for spotted lanternfly later this year. But we could also use your help. Now that you know how to identify the spotted lanternfly host plant, Tree of Heaven, we are asking you to be on the lookout. If you do see a spotted lanternfly, do not hesitate to call your local extension office. Together, we can help protect Ohio agriculture.